Boney's art challenges don't come with canvas and paints, but instead with sheets of steel. KLTV+'s Joan Hallmark explains in tonight's Proud of East Texas.
Metal art of Longview's William Boney. I'm Joan Hallmark, and we'll show you how it's done on Proud of East Texas next.
From very small child, I've always just woke up anticipating doing some sort of art every day.
William Boney, or Boney as he's called, has dabbled in all sorts of art, from painting to glass etching. But when he discovered metal art 10 years ago, other art forms faded in comparison.
The biggest challenge in any medium that I've ever worked in, and I like that. I really like to try to take a piece of raw metal and make something really nice. I start with a design and go from getting that right to actually cutting the work out. If it's multi-dimensional, say a three-dimensional sculpture or something, I have to piece and puzzle things together as I go and then tear it all back down apart for the finishing, which is the last stage.
Although Boney has produced over 2,000 pieces of metal art over the past 2 years alone, he has no studio and prefers to work outside.
I'm always out in the elements, but I like the outdoors. I'm an outdoor type guy.
Whether he's demonstrating his art at art shows or creating art in his backyard, Boney says he never runs out of ideas.
Actually, a solid hunk of steel.
Boney's art takes on a variety of forms, from objects of nature to both cowboys and Indians. Most of his custom work includes the customer's name and the design, and although some offer their own ideas, most just leave the design up to Boney.
If they see the work and they say, well, we like to leave it up to you, we like your style and your taste, and you just make it look good.
And that final looking good is what gives Boney his greatest satisfaction.
It's just like the icing on the cake. I mean, I can design and I can cut and do everything else, but once it's finished and it looks good and passes my quality control, so to speak, then that's most satisfying.
Satisfying for artist and customer alike. Until next time, from Longview, I'm Joan Hallmark.
And you can find out more about William Boney and his Tejas metal designs. Just go to our website and the Proud of East Texas page. There you'll find a link to his website.
Throw 3 darts at the map. Toss in 3 wildly distinctive personalities, plus 3 clever projects, and you've got a craft show that'll have you saying, "That's clever." Hi, I'm Angela Martinez. Welcome to That's Clever. Now, many of our crafters succeed because practice makes perfect. But first, find out how this artist puts the star in the Lone Star State. He's creating a steel sculpture that's quite the catch. Welcome back to That's Clever. We're on the road finding real people making really cool crafts. Now check out how this metal artist makes his home state of Texas really shine.
Hi, I'm metal sculptor William Boney from Houston, Texas. And today I'm going to be making my furnished Texas dream catcher. Welcome to my work area. The first step that I'll do is choose a piece of steel that I want to do the Texas dream catcher on. I've projected up my artwork from a transparency. I'm going to go to drawing it. I've finished my drawing. I've set up my cutting table. Now I will don my safety equipment. I've got the glasses, cool shades, protect my eyes while I'm cutting, and dirty gloves to protect my hands from the heat. This is my favorite part of the cutting. This is an oxyacetylene cutting torch. I have to keep it well maintained or it won't cut like butter. Now that I've finished cutting out the design, I'll cool it off. Now that I've got the main body cut out and set aside and cooling, I'm going to cut out some feathers to give my Texas Dreamcatcher a Native American touch. 1 feather down, 3 to go. All 4 done. Now that the pieces are cooled, I've cut out this small relief star that will pop out of the design here on the main body to give it some splash. Splash, splash, splash. I'm going to attach the small relief star to the big star on the main body by drilling a hole in the big star and tack welding a tiny screw on the relief star. Sometimes I attach it with chewing gum, but today I think I'll weld the screw on. Okay, now that that's done, I'll check the fit, make sure it's going to fit okay in there, look well. Looks like we're in business. Next thing I'll do is tack weld the feathers on. I'm going to bolt the small relief star on now. Back to a different hat for a different job. Feels better. I need to tighten this so when I hold it up to balance it, get the center of balance, the star won't be too whoppy-jawed. Now that I've got the 4 feathers tack welded and the relief star bolted on, I'm ready to hold the piece up and find the center of balance. I'll go from there and weld hanger brackets on it. Back to changing the hats again. Once more, a welder. Well, that was a good one. These 4 feathers I slightly tacked on the piece to find the balance. Now I'll take them off so I can polish each piece individually. Now I'm ready to grind and polish all the individual pieces. I'll do that with an electric hand grinder using a stone wheel first, and then I'll follow it up with a flat disc, which is 80 grit sandpaper for a smooth, slick finish. And earplugs, very loud. Now I take the torch, heat this up to where I get all the moisture out of the steel, so therefore I'll have to heat it from the bottom side, and then I'll work the heat to the top side. That'll produce the color. I set my torch just like I would for cutting steel, no different. So here we go, rock and roll. Very time consuming. I can go to the top side with the heat and start the fun part, the coloring. I have to be careful not to overheat it in some areas because it discolors and I'll never regain that color back. You gotta start from square one with the grinding again, so very cautious. The hardest to gain and keep because it comes so quickly is the violet. The easiest is the gold. The blue is just kind of like a given. Now that it's done, I get to burnish the feathers. I get to burnish the star. I'll attach it all. We're almost done. I'm going to finish up complementing the piece by touching the torch tip to each point of the star within the ring, kind of simulating some rivets. I've put the 4 feathers on, I've bolted the relief star on, I've polyurethaned it with 2 coats of enamel, and I'm finally finished. Isn't it awesome? Texas Dreamcatcher.
You can find artists hard at work on great projects just about anywhere. We've just shown you 3. Come back next time and find out what America's crafting on That's Clever.